Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717 chilling out with mega good vibes here as usual. She's just hanging out. We wanted to hop on tonight to say happy Saturday, and we hope you guys are just chilling out, enjoying yourselves. I want to tap into the masculine energy here and find out what messages they want to communicate to you. So maybe there was something about the title of this reading that grabbed your attention. It's going to have a lot to do with the main message here, okay? So I'm going to give this a good shuffle. I think, guys, I want to do a few messages. So like a few mini readings for each group, okay? Just so that we get as many messages as we can tonight. I'm really feeling guided to do that. So I've got a good shuffle here. I'm just going to cut the deck in random places, and I'm going to choose 3 messages, okay? All right, there we go. We have message number 1. Okay, let's cut it again for message number 2. Okay, and then let's cut it again for message number 3. Okay, so depending on the message, I'll use the appropriate deck to really give us some more clarification, okay? So you're either going to resonate with message number 1, number 2, or number 3, or if you're open to listening to the entire reading, then maybe there could be something in all 3 groups for you, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get into message number 1. So for those of you, what do your masculines wish to communicate? Okay, so a lot of them are wanting your forgiveness, Divine Feminine. Okay, so maybe you guys are going through separation and your masculines really want to make their way back, but they can't make their way back even if energetically you still find yourself going off in your head about the past and how much you don't want to be with them. Maybe you might find yourself uttering at times because of the separation. You're done with this journey, you're over it. But deep down inside, I mean, you're a twin flame. They can feel you. Like if you try to tell yourself one thing and you put on that false mask, but inside you're feeling something else and you're watching the readings and you're curious about their energy, it's like the universe sees you because you can't hide from the universe. And if it's genuinely your divine masculine, they can feel you as well. That spark doesn't die. So I feel like right now for many of you, they want to make their way back. They're maybe sending you songs as well, just kind of letting you know that they regret things, or maybe they miss you, or you might be feeling really romanced by your masculine right now energetically. You might feel like you're being chased by them. And again, you just kind of have this attitude of looking the other way, or like I'm getting this stubborn energy. It's like you want them, but you don't want them. It's like you want them, but you really want them to to maybe bleed when it comes to this forgiveness, okay? Let's find out how the masculines are feeling in their heart space for you. So genuinely, what are these masculines feeling? Why do they want forgiveness at this time with the Divine Feminine? What do they want to communicate with you? Okay, how do they feel about the connection genuinely? What do they wish to communicate with you? Because if they're trying to communicate through songs, then they want to tell you how it is they really feel. So how are these masculines really feeling towards you, Divine Feminine? Okay, so we have the codependency card coming on. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. I feel like it could be an addiction to the cycles, or it could be like an addiction to a certain way of thinking about your divine masculine, okay? Again, some of you, on like in your mind, when you think about the connection with your counterpart, it feels like you're maybe not in a good place. And, there's a part of you that is maybe, low-key addicted to that cycle or the drama of wanting them to chase you and wanting them to beg and to plead. And it's like energetically they're trying to do it if they're trying to send you songs, but I feel like what they're saying is like even the songs aren't working because they can still feel that block. Maybe many of them are still intimidated to come close. And I feel like this is coming up for those of you who, you might be, saying to yourself, yeah, you know what, at the end of the day, what am I doing watching this reading if I don't care? Do I need to practice forgiveness with my twin in order for them to come forward? Because I feel like whoever this reading is for, like there's a new cycle that wants to start, but this codependency on this cycle between you and your twin, it has a lot to do with you forgiving them. Forgiving yourself for maybe being naive, and then forgiving your counterpart for hurting you, or maybe for not knowing better. But, at the end of the day, if you're still thinking about them, then, maybe this is coming up so that you're able to help practice that. Maybe forgiveness is something that's really hard for you to do because you're harboring a lot of resentment. How else is this masculine feeling towards you? Okay, they definitely want you to release a certain way of thinking. Okay, so let your friends help you. Okay, so ask for and accept support from others. Your counterpart wants you to ask for a sign that they're your twin. Okay, I don't know who this is for, but what I'm getting is your person, your divine masculine, they want to come back, but they know that you're upset or you're angry or you're extremely hurt. And maybe in this lifetime, it's very difficult for you to let go of that. It's very difficult for you to let go of a grudge, or it's very hard for you to let go of this, codependent thought pattern where it's like if somebody wrongs you once, it's really hard, like, for you to give that person a second chance. Okay, and forgiveness is all about second chances. And I feel like maybe you had conflict with this masculine maybe once, and it's like your cutoff game was like strong, like there's no coming back from it, but you still feel like you carry these feelings for them, and you can still feel their energy really heavy. So whoever this reading is for, if you want a new start, you're going to have to admit to yourself that you still want this person, you still care for this person, and that what's ever occurred between you two in the past, you're finally willing to face it and to be able to let it go and see where things go from there. Okay, how are they romantically feeling about you? Because just the idea of you kind of letting it go and seeing where that takes you both, I feel like right away it's already making me want to ask how they romantically feel about you. Okay, let's cut it in half. Okay, yeah, so they definitely want your forgiveness, okay? They want to romance you. They want to come towards you. You're still kind of stubborn there, looking away. But look at where she's looking to. I feel like this beautiful vase of fresh flowers growing lets you know that, a new start wants to occur, and it's going to be a healthy, passionate start. They are red flowers, and it looks like a very beautiful, healthy, blossoming plant as well. And we know that the Eight of Cups is generally about walking away, but in this case, I feel like they want you to walk towards them. Like they're tired of you walking away from the connection, or maybe blocking off the connection in some way. Okay, so this is for those of you who, sometimes you might find yourself saying like, I'm done with this, but you're not really done if you're here. If you're curious about them, if you're, hopping onto YouTube and saying to yourself like, and you guys know who you're watching these readings for. The first person that comes to your mind when I say this, it's the person who, they really want your forgiveness so that they can come in genuinely. And they can feel whether that forgiveness is going to be genuine or not, especially if they're your divine masculine, okay? They can feel you. They know you just as well as you know them. They can feel your energy just as much as you can with them, okay? Let's get your best course of action, okay? Especially because your person is asking for your forgiveness. What's your best course of action with this person? What are the fairies wanting you to know about this connection? And whether or not you can trust it. Okay, let's cut it right in half. So we have the King of Cups, okay? So honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted. They want your forgiveness because they're maturing. They recognize that there's patterns between you both that it needs healing. They want you to stop, again, like I'm feeling someone who's like holding something inside, or there's resentment, or, it's like someone very stubborn. It's like you cross them once and that's it, very like Queen of Swords type of thing. But you got this King of Cups coming through, and it says a romantic partner you can trust. Excellent advice that comes from the heart. Getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Okay, so this is someone who's going to be like mature about being patient with you. Okay, I feel like maybe through this reading, it perhaps may make you second guess yourself a little bit, and stop and say, okay, you know what, maybe it's time for me to release a lot of these feelings that I have, and, if not for my twin, then for myself, so that I may be able to just move forward, whether it's with them or somebody else, or it's new opportunities coming into my life, whatever this ball of energy within you that you're harboring from whatever conflict you've had with your twin, release it now in this moment. Okay, because this is someone who, they've healed from the conflict or whatever type of separation that's occurred between you both, and now they're just kind of patiently waiting to show you that. All right, so that's group one's message. Let's go ahead and move into group two's. All right, so I refuse to be second place. Okay, divine feminine energy. All right, so this is a masculine who's well aware that you've set this boundary, okay? And this has been coming up a lot in the readings, as far as many of you choosing to kind of move forward. You're no longer participating in third-party energies, okay? Let's find out how your masculine sees you. Okay, since you've drawn this boundary. Since you've drawn this boundary, how do they see you? Yeah, there it is again. They want to come forward and make an offer. So this is a message for many of you who, you need this as a sign where, letting go of these third-party situations is exactly what's going to make you attract the right type of offer towards you, whether it is with your person or with someone genuinely meant for you. I really do feel like, for many of you, the lesson is to remove yourself. It's to empower yourself enough to say that you refuse to be second choice. If somebody else, if your masculine is choosing somebody else, it is up to you to remove yourself from that situation and have grace and have dignity for yourself, because your self-respect does in fact make you more romantically attractive, divine feminine. Okay, and I love her body language in this card, just because it shows that he's coming in all chivalrous. He's on his knees offering her this flower. And it's like she's not making it easy for him, okay? Because at this time, I feel like a lot of you know your worth. And it could be after a long journey of having to find yourself and having this divine masculine trigger you to the point where you have had to, go off on your own journey and do for yourself and be there for yourself, and buy yourself your own flowers, and really sink into the idea that you don't necessarily need someone else outside of you to make you feel whole or complete. And I feel like because many of you have done that, your masculines are really wanting to rush in, because with you refusing to be second place, you kind of put yourself in that first place position. Guys, I feel like I heard a cat meow, and I think Mega feels like she heard it too. Oh, I think it's people outside. It's probably kids outside. I heard it too, baby. I thought it was Ariel meowing. Oh my gosh. I even lost my train of thought as to where I was, but no, oh yeah, I remember saying, divine feminine refused to be second place, and by refusing to be second place and removing yourself, your masculine has no access to you. it's like, another strong message I'm getting with this is like, okay, your masculine has no access to you. And by you doing that, you've put yourself as number one, because you're saying that it's like, listen, your karmic partner might be okay with being with all three of us, but I don't want to be with all three of us, okay? Another message that I'm getting here with this, Two of Swords, and Two of Swords energy is about having to be assertive and decisive, okay? And another message I'm getting for those of you involved in any kind of third party situations, the reason you have to get into this energy is because you have to call your power back in. There might be some of you out there who you're not drawing the boundary or that line all the way, or you're like drawing it, but you're pressing so lightly on the chalk. Like, really, like, jam that chalk into that concrete, bro, and let your person know. And what I mean by this is a message that had come through for me, and it's interesting it's coming up in this reading because I meant to share it as a whole other reading, is that there's some of you in the divine feminine energy who keep telling your masculine, like, let's just be friends, and there's a third party. Like, bro, stop telling them that shit. Like, we're not friends. Like, don't call me baby. I'm not your baby. We're not friends, bro. Because every time we talk, you're all up in my shit. Like, you shouldn't be all up in my shit like that when you have a girlfriend. And I shouldn't even be letting you all up in my shit like that when you have a girlfriend. So you know what? No, we're not friends. And that's how you guys gotta roll. Many of you are walking that fine line between, oh yeah, like, you know what, we should just totally be friends because you have a girlfriend. And meanwhile, you guys are sexting and texting, and that's why you guys are caught up in these cycles with them, okay? Because remember, you have to draw that boundary all the way, jam that damn chalk into the concrete, okay? We going hopscotch style, bro. Okay? When you playing hopscotch back in the day, you better make sure you know if somebody step on those lines, right? So yeah, that's a strong message that's coming through for many of you, okay? Because they do, if you are in that energy where you're just like, we have time for that, Maggie. You have time for that? Eh? Tell me, you have time for that? Oh, guys, I just imagine her playing hopscotch, and it's the cutest little vision ever. Oh, my goodness.
Can you play hopscotch? You do hopscotch just like so, yes.
She's so cute. Yeah, if many of you are in this energy, you are really commanding respect. You are commanding your masculine to keep their promise, or to have respect for themselves, or I don't know, it's this energy of like finally waking up and being like, I know what I need to do. You know what you need to do? You want me to tickle your armpit? Tickle. Guys, she's so distracting. I can't even get the messages out. Maggie, no shame either too. You're just like, yeah, more belly scratches. She's so sweet. Oh my goodness. But yeah, guys, a lot of you are just like, you're asking your counterpart, like, listen, the reason we keep going through these cycles here is because neither of us are showing respect for ourselves right now. Okay, so I need to show some respect for myself. And I feel like she's like, can I get an amen? I feel like, this divine feminine's like, I need to show some respect for myself, and you need to show some respect for yourself. Like, quit messaging me. We're not friends. Clearly, we can't be friends, and just you drawing that strong boundary is just making you so attractive and magnetic, divine feminine. Okay, yeah, we have another card here depicting the energy of you kind of clearly letting your divine masculines know. Like, look at all of the symbolism here as well. The connection is magnetic between you two, okay? But you have to cut it off for now, because it's like you're trying to let them know, like, you've got a situation back there, and as passionate, because look at the color of her beautiful dress here, as passionate as they feel about you, they can't keep coming in and out. Like, she's literally pointing her finger, going through that whole, you need to have respect for yourself, and like maybe even have respect for the person that you're with as well, or maybe that person that you're with needs to have respect for themselves, and that's all about this energy here, is refusing to be second place. Okay, let's go ahead and get your best course of action here. What's your best course of action right now, divine feminine? What is this reading trying to say to you? Oh, I'm sorry, is that loud? Okay, I'm going to cut the deck in half now. She's like, I'm trying to rest, and you're like sloshing around those cards. Alrighty, your best course of action, Divine Feminine. Okay. Ooh, King of Swords. I couldn't have said it better myself. Okay. Knowledgeable, experienced. Huh? I'm too experienced to be taken for a stroll. I'm too experienced for someone to rock and roll. I'm too experienced to be taken for a ride. And I know it's not my foolish pride. That's that song synchronicity, okay? Some of you are just too experienced to be taken for a stroll. All right? Fair-minded, unemotional about it too. And that's that energy of her kind of looking away like that, right? So get advice from someone professional and objective, public speaking, unemotional relationships. And I feel like through this Four of Cups here, it is an unemotional relationship that they're in if they continuously come towards you, right? Especially with this, like, we be friends now. You know, like, I have enough friend, brother man. Like, I don't need no more friend, right? You fix up with your friend, you have home day. The Four itself is an energy of, it's either stability, or if there's too much routine and stability, it becomes stagnant. It becomes like those walls need to be broken down. And by you choosing not to be second place, you'll see how stagnant it's going to get in your Divine Masculine's connection with this karmic, because that's the lesson. You know, many of you are too experienced for this. You're too experienced to be in third-party situations. All right, guys? So that was Group 2's message. Let's get into the final message here for the night. All right, so I may be your Divine Masculine, but I'm not perfect. Okay? I kind of feel like this message is going to go hand in hand with those of you who might need to practice forgiveness, because your masculine is saying that, you know, they're not perfect, okay? And many of you may be in this energy of like, you better come correct. And it's like, you know, they may try and come correct, but you may be in this very like Queen of Swords energy, always cutting them down, always expecting the worst. You know, I feel like through the energy in this card and in this reading, you know, the Divine Feminine is being asked to stop and assess, like, how do you really feel about this person? Do you really love them? You know, are you perfect? You know, the things that you want out of them, are you know, perfect in those ways? I feel like, you know, this card is about meeting your Divine Masculine where they're at, but also you understanding that a lot of the flaws that they have, they're also a mirror for you. You know, many of you mirror your counterparts. If you guys are in marriages or relationships, you know, oftentimes your karmic partners as well may mirror certain qualities about each other's karmic partner, or each other's energy in general. Okay, and you know, how do they see you? Like, are they wanting to come close? What is this energy about here? Why do they feel like they're not perfect? How do they see you? What's been going on between you two? Yeah, so they're trying to reach out and they're trying to communicate, but it's like they can't do anything right. They can't say anything right. You know, they have all of this passion for you, and it may be hidden there with the moon and them dancing underneath the moon. Okay, what I'm getting with this is that it's all about communication here, with this Knave or this Page of Cups here. Okay, so they have a lot of ideas about what they want to do and how they want to be with you, but they may not be able to express that enough, but it doesn't mean it's not there. And that's why I feel like they're saying that they're not perfect. They have so much emotions for you, but they don't know how to express it, and that's all it really is. They may have good intentions, but they can't communicate well. And I feel like they're asking for you to go easy on them, because maybe some things that they can't reveal is like, listen, I don't know how to communicate with you because my parents never really told me how much they cared for me or how much they loved me, or I never really had people around me to show me affection, or I spent most of my childhood on my own. You know, that's why they're saying like they're not perfect. You know, so pay attention to ways that your masculine may be trying to communicate their love language. Like, I feel like a lot of your masculines, you know, they show you that they love you, but it's done in like really different ways. You know, like you might have a Divine Masculine who shows up during the times where you really need them the most. But maybe instead of appreciating that, the first thing you want to ask them is like, where the hell have you been? You know? So it's like right away, communication always gets kind of staticky between you two. And they're saying to you, I'm not perfect. You know, I love you, but I feel like you want me to be so perfect, like a, you know, this kind of dream person. Okay, what is the connection between you two, you know, supposed to be teaching each other right now, especially when it comes to not being perfect, accepting each other as you are? What are you two experiencing in this twin flame connection? Okay, so that this is worth waiting on. Okay, they may be working on learning how to communicate their thoughts a little bit more clearly, because I feel like there's a lot that they do that they maybe don't mean to do, or there's so much that they want to say, but it's like they close up or they get nervous about it, or you know, again, they might hold themselves to a very high standard, and sometimes they might feel like they're not good enough. Like what I'm seeing is like two people who talk over text or phone, and it's like a masculine who has so much inside bottled up, but it's like they don't know how to express it, or they start getting nervous, or they start getting all sweaty because, again, they genuinely don't know what it's like to have these types of conversations with other people, right? Because, again, they may not have had a loving environment at home. The environment at home might have been very cutthroat or very cold, or the attachment there might have not been very secure. So when it comes to them trying to manage themselves in adult relationships, they don't know how to receive a lot of the love that you give them. Like you might be a person who communicates a lot, and then your masculine just gives you like a one-word answer, and you're like so frustrated. But it's like that's the balance between you two, right? And I can guarantee you there's probably a lot of you in that dynamic where you are just like a babbling brook. Shout out Garbage Pail Kids, boop boop. And your person is just, you know, it takes them time to open up, and it gets you really frustrated. And I feel like maybe many of you need to practice like being open-minded and realizing that the way your person may interact with you, it goes a lot deeper, you know, and they don't have to interact the way you interact, and they don't have to be as open and share everything and anything and everything with you. It takes them time, but the universe is letting you know this is worth waiting on, because this person is being genuine. You know, there's something about the way that they are that it's not their fault, you know, and there's trauma behind that. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of energy in in the 3 readings here that talk about a divine masculine who deeply loves a divine feminine, but they're on the start of this new journey to being able to express that, and then they're mirroring back to their feminine, just how to be able to like slow down and allow them to express, and the feminine, instead of like being overly emotional, she now learns to ground her emotions a little bit more and balance that, so that way you give your masculine room to expand and express themselves, because you know you might be overly expressing and they might be not expressing enough. So pay attention to that dynamic and learn how to be able to like ground your energy and not reveal so much about yourself at once and things like that. All right, guys. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. It's a bit of a longer reading tonight because I meant to do one this afternoon, and yeah, it was just a busy weekend with my kiddo. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one tonight, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Check me out on Patreon if you guys want to message one-on-one. And you know, I'm not doing readings all that much right now in terms of personal readings, but yeah, the best way to really get a hold of me and to just kind of chit chat with me a little bit, maybe just get some general advice on your connection, the best way to get at me is on Patreon. Okay, guys? Otherwise, yeah, me and Michael will see you tomorrow. We love you guys. Take care. All right. Good night. Bye.